awareness, and I just wanted to focus on one thing that I could do where I could make a big difference, rather than doing a lot of small things, to try and focus on one thing. And that was really how Embark started. And that was also after I found my dog Nico on the street. And I, like everybody else, used to drive past street dogs and not pay a second thought to them. And I was to say, that's how I was as well, until I found Nico and realized how much he had to offer, and how wonderful the love and the care that they have to give, and how much you can benefit from that as well as them. And that was really when I decided that that's what I wanted to do, to make a change in the life of street dogs in Sri Lanka, and people, because I think as much as they benefit, I think people benefit as much or even more by sharing their love, and by being a part of their lives, and doing good for them, and doing good and making a difference. And that's really what I've seen also over the years, but that there were so many people who really wanted to do more, but they didn't know what to do. So, with Embark, they have the opportunity to be able to do something, even if they see a dog, or if they want to help in any other way. And as a result, we have quite a lot of volunteers and people who want to contribute to making a change. And so, yeah, that's what I really want to do more of.
Sounds very interesting, and it was nice to see that little dog in your office as well the other day. So you've taken Embark, and you're really building on Embark. At the same time, you're doing what you really and always wanted to do in your life, work that you're doing for the street dogs. So what balance and what time of your day does it take for these two activities? Yes, you've got that brand Embark that you're building now as well, and then you've got that lovely work that you always wanted to do. How do you balance that?
Well, I mean, now it's even if it's the brand, it's still to me it's still 100% of something I'm doing to make a difference in the lives of others and to help. So it's still, even if I'm doing the business part, I still to me it's the same thing, because it's so closely linked. The teams are in the same place, in the same office, and the dogs are everywhere. Not really, only two at the moment. So yeah, I mean, we have the office with, I wanted to make it so that, we're very close to nature. And so, we have a butterfly garden, and we eat outdoors, and we have, the area is well lit, so we don't put on lights during the day. And I mean, little things like that, but just to make it as close to nature as possible. And I mean, not only dogs, I hope I will be able to contribute to helping other animals as well, elephants and our wildlife, which I think is it's really in need of great protection at the moment. And so that's, I hope I can spend as much time as I do on the brand as with the cause.
Yeah. And out of all the sub-brands that you created while you were ODEL, Embark was anyway big, no underestimating of that brand, and it's getting bigger, and we see so much of Embark out, and so much of creativity around it, and wanting people to actually do more for animals as well. And even in the papers today, it was nice to see what Embark had put out, the East program and all of that. So in that sense, as much as you are doing for the stray animals, do we see another ODEL being built through Embark?
Oh, it's still very early stages. I mean, there'll never be another ODEL. And there'll only be, the one ODEL that's there. And Embark, whatever happens will be different. I have no intention to replicate what ODEL has. And ODEL is about, having a lot of brands within a store, which Embark won't be. And so we'll see what happens.
Okay, that'll be interesting to see how Embark actually unfolds as we go along. Just one last question that I'm going to ask, and I'm sure we can see lots of questions coming in, and we go into a quick break. But just quickly, I mean, all of us, we have role models as we go along, and I'm sure you would have had your role models as you took ODEL from step to step, and as you grew it. So if you can just touch on that, who are these role models? Who really inspired you to make it what you made out of it?
Well, I mean, different people over the years. Never one person, but at different stages of my life, different people. really more than them, the people who have really helped me along the years is the people who have been close to me and around me, and the people that you somehow seem to meet at the right time in your life when you're ready for it to make a change in your life. And some of them there have been who have been very, very, very special to me and still are. There's, like I said, there's always people who are there that you can learn from if you're open to it. The main thing is to be open to knowing that you can change, and knowing that change is good, and knowing that that there are always people. People come to you always for a certain reason, and people are around you for a certain reason, and you can always learn something and make it benefit your life and make a difference to you and the people around you.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely interesting. I hope you found that interesting. So we go in for a commercial break now, and we'll come back. We'll take up all the questions that you really sent through.
LBR LBO CEO Forum.
Platinum sponsor.
Superior online gaming. HD video streaming. Fastest download speeds. Contactability. The fastest growing mobile 4G LTE network in Sri Lanka. Mobitel, we care, always.
Gold sponsor.
Silver sponsor.
Never stop persevering. No matter what happens in life, we believe in never giving up on what's important to you. AIA Insurance, the real life company.
Investing in an ERP typically involves purchasing modules, which often include features you don't even need. Why pay more to complicate your tasks? Well, we have the solution. Intuition. It's a new concept based on process journeys. Simply, you purchase and use only what you need. As your company grows, Intuition grows with you. Scale up only when you need to. Access the user-friendly dashboard and helpful analytical tools wherever you go. It's simple to purchase and simple to implement. Make real savings and simplify your business with Intuition.
Full cricket scholarship! I'm leaving next week. Yes. That was okay. Email, Mom.
Lucerna SR is a meal replacement and low-calorie nutrition for people with diabetes. Triple Care. Benefit when used along with standard diabetes management plan. Helps to manage blood sugar. Supports heart health. Helps reduce weight and waistline. Contains all essential ingredients. Will be appropriate as compared to micronutrients. From Abbott Nutrition USA. Marketed by CIC.
For more information and nutritional advice, contact 0773 470 289 for more details.
Well, before we take the questions that you have sent through SMS, we'd like you to take a look at a couple of clips, the work that Otara is doing right now about Embark. So over to the videos.
Every day, there is new life, and whether it thrives or not depends on how we take care of it. And that is exactly what we do here at ODEL, Sri Lanka. Taking one step at a time, no matter how small, to make a difference in the life of as many animals as possible. We believe in sustainable solutions to the multitude of crises that animals are faced with on a daily basis. Our brand Embark was created in 2007 with the objective of bringing attention to the struggle of street dogs by contributing profits towards raising awareness, providing care, and rehoming them. To date, we have rescued and facilitated medical care to over 8,000 dogs with different needs, vaccinated over 23,000, sterilized 9,200, and rehomed over 1,500 street poochers with loving families who open their homes to them. Every day is a mission to raise social awareness about their plight, taking education and awareness programs to primary and secondary schools as well as communities. Our vision is to provide them a better life, to give them the love, respect, and home they deserve. Our wildlife conservation projects have revolved around a number of endangered species that are endemic to Sri Lanka: the Sri Lankan elephant, the Sri Lankan leopard, the chestnut-backed owlet, the purple-faced langur, and the crocodiles. These are all species faced with a serious threat of extinction, where numbers are dwindling as a result of habitat loss and the consequent increase of human-wildlife conflict. Funds raised have been invested in preservation, research, and rehabilitation with local and international wildlife conservation authorities. The solar-powered water pump that was donated to the Elephant Transit Home in Udavalave helped supply water to the 32 orphan elephants whilst they await reintroduction into the wild. The research grant facilitated to the Wildlife Conservation Society of Galle supports further study of the purple-faced langur and its habitat. Sri Lanka's first ever crocodile census and status assessment survey, conducted by the Crocodile Specialist Group of IUCN and SSC Sri Lanka, received a contribution as part of our conservation efforts to safeguard an amphibian that is clearly important for our ecosystems. The work we do goes beyond mere funding and rehabilitation. We place a lot of importance in raising social awareness about the value of wildlife. We believe in fostering a generation who has a strong sense of responsibility towards protecting, preserving, and restoring wildlife. I dream of a world where it's not about us or the animals, but about us and the animals. You may not have all the answers to the struggles of animals. The damage that's been done over generations past and present may not be fixed overnight, but it is never too late if you start now. No gesture is ever too small if you make any gesture at all. You can make a change.
Inspiring.
It's obviously a year ago.
You're quite inspiring, and we can definitely see why you're working on Embark. Just lots of questions that have come in from the audience, but let's try and take the questions on Embark, since we have been talking about Embark and we saw the videos on Embark. Can you explain the business model of Embark? Is it sustainable on its own, or are you actually writing checks?
At the moment, no. Yes, at the moment, I'm still in the process of building it, and there's a transition stage as well with ODEL. So it's still at very early stages, which I have to work on developing and growing. And it's important that the business grows to be able to do the work we do. A lot of the work that we do with Embark is from the sale of the product. And that will be really the business model that will continue, so that people can be part of the brand and part of the work we do, and know that when they shop, that they can make a difference in the lives of the street dogs.
Yeah. Well, taking on again on Embark, so it says, did you bring your own people from ODEL, or have you developed a new set of talent at Embark? Do you have like-minded people there?
Some are from a few were from ODEL who were handling Embark, and the balance are new. So it's a process of developing them and growing their talent, and so that process is also starting.
Yeah. Well, we are hearing more and more of Embark now, and the good work that Embark is doing with the street dogs, also about the other animals, which we saw in the video as well. The question says, do you intend to make Embark a broader movement with mass appeal, and how do you intend to do it?
Yes, definitely. To make a change, to make a big change in the lives of the dogs, because it is because it's something that's all over the country. It's really important to get more people involved, and I do want to make it where many people can contribute to making a change. And not only the dogs. We help a lot of the communities as well. A lot of the communities really love their animals, but they don't have the money to look after them or to treat them when they're sick. So we do a lot of that as well, so that it's really not just about the animals, but helping people who really want to care for the animals but can't do it on their own. So for me it's really important that it is something that's done with a lot of people, and getting more and more people involved in the business and in the work we do as well.
Yeah. And a lot of people means you definitely want to reach out to a wider audience.
Yes.
And this problem is just not in Colombo. And this question goes to say, I don't see much singular communication about Embark. Why is that? And Embark reaches only to Colombo English-speaking elite right now. So yeah.
Not really. Yes, it's not visible in a lot of the ads and the communication, but we do it in all three languages. All our material is in all three languages, and we do a lot of work outside Colombo. We've just completed a big program in Jaffna. We're now in Sigiri at the moment, doing a big camp there, so there are a lot of areas that we cover outside Colombo on the work side. Obviously not on the brand side, but so yeah, it is there, but obviously it's still very early stages, and there's a lot to do.
Yeah, so I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of that coming through the media and through various other forms of media going forward, and we'll wait for that. I'm sure Otara has lots of plans. It says, it is different. ODEL was all different. You went all the way up to an IPO, you sold it, and it was, making sure that your shareholders were looked after and you had to show those profits. So in which way managing a non-profit differs from running for profit?
It will be to create profit, because without the profit, we can't do the work. And, there's a lot of, it needs to, I want to make it run like a company. Just to run like a company that does make profit, but a lot of the funding should go to do the work. And obviously, the more we can grow the brand, the more work we can do. We have a lot of other organizations that also support us. last year we had Bridget Bado helping us with a lot of the work we do. The program we're doing in Sigiriya is actually with them. So we have other organizations also that support the work Embark does. So it'll be a combination of that.
Okay. This is, okay, not directly at Embark, but yes, what next after ODEL? Another iconic brand? I wonder whether you're referring to Embark here, but because we were talking Embark. This is what Sri Lanka needs, homegrown brands that can go international. So any comment on that?
I agree. And, that's been something I've always loved doing is building brands and developing brands. And, even though I've sold, that hasn't left me. It's only the cause behind it and the intention behind it that will continue to be what it is with giving and helping. But it will run like a business, and it will run as a brand that I hope will expand and I hope will be very visible internationally. I hope.
Yeah, good luck with that. I'm sure it will, because it is you behind the brand. And I'm just going to now take some questions from the first part of what we spoke. So what's the real strength behind ODEL brand? What was most consistent and compelling? What was most consistent and compelling aspect?
Behind ODEL?
ODEL. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Maybe it's the... it's the whole concept, and it's the product. For me, it was about the product, the service, the atmosphere, and the people. The people over there, it's for any fashion brand, for any department store. The product range is really key. At the right price, the correct range, the whole replenishment of it, having new products all the time. And that really was one of the key focuses of ODEL, and that's really what really made the difference from a lot of other stores that kept opening over the last few years. You really need to be on top of the product range and having good things all the time for the customers, new things, that was really what everyone loves to do in ODEL.
Well, here, this question says, I'm going to just put a couple of them to you so that, I'm quite mindful of the time. So did you stretch the brand a bit too much by expanding into the suburbs, competing with low price retailers? And then it says, okay, was the IPO precursor to your departure? So I'll give you both questions together, but we'll take the first one. Did you stretch the brand a bit too much by expanding into the suburbs?
All the stores were doing okay, and there was no real. It was still, some of them were still very new. I think Goal was only 1 year, and Nigambo was also 1 year, but those were LBR stores. So it's still very very early stages for stores. One of the reasons Pakistan also came to Sri Lanka was because they went into markets very early, into emerging markets, and they used to sit there and wait for things to develop and be there early, so that they could be there for the growth and take advantage of that. And that's probably what happened with the other stores as well. It was just really to give opportunity to others also in the outer areas. And as things developed, traffic was horrendous in certain areas, in coming to Colombo and going out, and so it became more and more difficult for people to reach Colombo sometimes. And of course, this was just before the highways as well, so that changed a bit. So that was really the thinking behind it, and it really contributed to the growth of ODEL, all the new stores, and it was less dependent on one big store, and there were many others that contributed as well to the growth.
But it was nothing like coming to that main store.
Yes,
Everybody wanted to do that,
yeah.
didn't they? The next question, was the IPO precursor to your departure?
No, both the IPO and Parkson, all of that was really, I had no idea that this is what I wanted to do, until maybe less than a year ago was when I, like I said, when I was about to turn 50. Until then, I had absolutely no idea or intention of doing this, and I love what I did, and I enjoyed it to the last day.
Okay. I was just keeping, and I was waiting to get to this question. You remind me of another successful entrepreneur called Bill Gates, who left the business he created and went on to philanthropy. Was he a role model?
Funnily enough, no. He was one of the people that I hardly read about. Actually, of course, I know what he did and and how he made the change. No, I mean that wasn't really anything to do with me making the change. Mine was simply, what everyone else does doesn't suit you, and this suited me, and which was something I wanted to do. And and more than anything, you need to really know it's right for you to do it, and that was really the reason behind it.
Okay, this again. If not for ODEL, what would have been your script or narrative?
Living in a jungle somewhere and looking after elephants. That was my dream.
And the dogs also somewhere there?
Well, no, at that time it was just wildlife.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you do a lot of trips to the jungle right now that you're out of ODEL?
I've just started actually. For 20 years I didn't go anywhere. From when I was younger, I used to go at least 5-6 times a year to the jungles, and then once I started the business and started with ODEL, I just never could do that. And I was also so committed to the business, and and it also took a lot of my time. So now I've just started again.
Okay. So what was the last place that you visited? You just started, you said.
Gunewardene, and they have an eco park there, and it was really great to be back.
Well, there's definitely a lot of traffic in Yala. I don't think
Yes,
you'd want to.
No, I don't actually.
Fair. Okay, here, just going back to ODEL again, fashion is a great business to be in. What was the most fascinating aspect of retailing? It was really probably the change, the pace of it. It was such a fast-paced business and such a fast-paced life, because of the change that needs to happen. You have to be so efficient to be able to flip things so fast, and product ranges, and it's such a big network of of countries, of suppliers, of people that you need to be involved in, and that was really the most exciting one, and the most challenging, and part of the business for me, and it was really a big part of ODEL that really made a difference as well. Yeah. Well, I still wonder whether whether you're still a part of ODEL. Do you still do consultations for them? And then I see this question: how do you feel for the future of ODEL?
Well, even when I sold, you always tell, wanting it to do well, and I really hope it does, and I'm sure it will.
Do you still do any kind of consultation, or you're completely hands-off?
No, I don't. Yeah.
Okay. So there's another question here. Michael Dell left Dell, and he was recalled to rescue, similarly found of Starbucks. Will we see a repeat of that with ODEL?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea. I don't think so. I really don't. I don't know. I don't think so.
Too early to comment, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's only like six months.
Well, Lakshman, we might have to have another forum and then talk about that later on. This is very interesting. Politics seems to be quite a focus these days. It says, any plans to enter politics?
No plans, but then I had no plans to sell also, so you never know. No, I don't have any plans.
This question is from me, Otara, actually. You were telling us how supportive your family was, your sons, everybody, when you were running ODEL, and how it helped you to really make what it was when you sold it. How supportive are they of Embark? Are they a part of Embark too? Are they as passionate as you are?
I mean, no, they're not. Yes, they are passionate about animals, but they're not really involved in the business or in a part of it at the moment, because things have obviously changed in the last 25 years. But I mean, they've always been happy for what I wanted to do and the plans I have. And I think one of the greatest things that have benefited me from the very beginning was that my parents were never forceful of what they wanted me to do and what ideology they had of me, of who I should be. They let me be who I am and who I wanted to be. And I think that was really something I truly appreciate, and I hope more parents would do with their children. That let the children be who they are and not who you think you want them to be, because that really was one of the greatest things, supports that I had, that it gave me the chance to really explore and do what I wanted to do.
Oh, that's a great piece of advice for people like me too, with kids. Just something in and relates to what we were talking. How does not having a big business feel? Do you feel empty or free? Do you advise others that selling is a good move?
Yes, I do advise it. It's really good. It feels strange. It does feel strange, especially when it's been such a huge part of my life, and it does feel strange that I don't have that. But I was when I did it, I was ready for it. I wasn't forced to do it. I wasn't. I didn't feel it was something that I was unsure about. So I was ready for the change, and as a result, it wasn't difficult after it happened. If not, I'm sure it would be very, very tough. So I think you really need to be ready for that and prepare yourself for that, and really know what you want to do is really the path you want to take for the rest of your life. And knowing that makes it so much easier to do. But it does really, that whole process of detachment, really, it's an amazing feeling, and I would recommend it to anyone.
Well, yeah, it would have been difficult, all right, but you certainly did do it, and you're going ahead behind your passion, the animals that you want to, the rescue, all that, and the good work that you're doing for the animals, looking after the stray dogs. There's so much that's happening out there, and I'm sure animals are blessed to have you now full on. This question again, I mean, we spoke about it, women, you being an icon, big business, building that ODEL empire, if I would say. So why are there only few women in big business in Sri Lanka? How do you break through the glass ceiling?
I don't know. That's a very difficult question. For me, there was never, I never saw a ceiling. I think sometimes when you think there is one, you can't progress very, very much. And, for me, it was just doing what I love to do. And I think, like I've said before, if anyone wants to do that, and I think it's possible to achieve a lot of things if you don't see barriers, and if you don't, if you feel there are no obstacles, and that everything is there for a reason, and to learn from it. And I think you can progress a lot. And I hope there will be. I'm sure there are a lot of women who are very successful in business, and I'm sure that over the years there will be more. And I look forward to that.
Okay. Lakshman, should we open to the audience? Any questions from the audience that you would want to ask Otara right now before we wrap up? Oh, yes, there is a question from the gentleman here. Okay, just hang on a minute, sir. A mic will be with you soon. Yes, it's just here, right in front.
What dogs? What about cats?
Oh, that's good. I didn't know about that.
Do you want?
No. we help cats as well, but but yeah, sometimes we do, and but Embark was really to do about dogs because it was to do with focusing on one thing where big change could be made, and that's really why it was about dogs, and it doesn't mean that I don't like cats, or actually we have two in the office as well. And we do help, but the focus is about dogs, and for me it's about all animals are really special and really precious, and really a part of our lives, and something that we need to to live in a world where we love all animals and people, and so yeah, it's not an exception of not cats.
I was really talking about wild cats, and Sri Lanka has 4 wild cats.
Yeah.
The leopard, the jungle cat, fishing cat, and the rusty spotted cat. And one cat is unique to Sri Lanka and some parts of India. You can't find it anywhere else in the world. And we are doing some work on it. I hope you'll support us in our
I would
study.
love to.
Thank you.
I would love to.
So you've got her attention now on that. Any other questions? I know we had a lot of questions. I need to set you free too. I mean, you've been talking a lot. I've been posing a lot of questions. Just before we wrap up, any other questions from the audience? Well, in that case, Otara, it has been a great pleasure talking to you, getting to know. I know you kept saying, but people know my story. But it's always lovely to hear that story. What really was the turning point, and what you're doing now, to see that passion coming through. You always wanted to do it, and how you've got that time, and the turning point, turning 50, as you said, and wanting to now go behind your passion, doing things for the animals, not just one type, not just dogs, but every animal. They're going to get a lot of attention from you and Embark, I'm sure. So thank you so much for the lovely fireside chat that we had.
Thank you. Thank you for
yes, and
having
over
me.
to Lakshman.
Yeah, thank you. Before I have the pleasurable task of performing the pleasurable task of thanking speakers, let's pay attention to a special message from Mobitel, our platinum and title partner.
Mobitel Business Solutions offers a spectrum of services to improve the efficiency and accuracy of your business operations. With tracking, business automation, messaging, customer contact, and advertising solutions for corporates and businesses, Mobitel Business Solutions is geared to accelerate your business performance.
Do you know where your fleet is? Are you convinced that your company vehicles are being productive? If you're tired of losing track of your company vehicles, M-Track is the answer.
Staff fuel allowances are a must for any company with field operatives, but the paperwork and procedures consume both time and money. With Mobitel One Fuel Card, managing staff fuel allowance is a breeze.
Are missed calls and opportunities eating into your bottom line? It's a waste to lose out on potential profits. No more missed opportunities with our 24-hour M-Call Center solution. Are you tired of carrying all your cards, chits, forms and receipts with you? Not to mention the hassle of replacing them when you lose them. The Mobitel iCard acts as your corporate ID, allowance card, access control card, and attendance monitoring card. With Mobitel iCard, all you need is one card.
Connecting you to a world of opportunities with a wide array of customized business solutions, Mobitel is ready to enable you to reach your maximum business potential. Contact our solution consultants now. Mobitel Business Solutions, accelerating your business.
Thanks so much. Let me once again thank all our sponsors, Mobitel Private Limited, a platinum partner, AIA Insurance, and CIC Health, CIC Holdings, Belita, Intuition, and Cook. Otara, you have been inspiration not only for women, but men, children, everyone in this country. And you have shown how one could follow the passion and do good to the society, build a business and do good to the society. And thank you so much for sharing that journey of disembarking from ODEL and embarking on embark. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for taking our time. And on behalf of everybody here, I would like to thank you. And also Sanjeevani, taking again, preparing for the event and engaging Otara in a meaningful and entertaining manner. Thank you so much. There's a pleasant task. I'm performing this on behalf of Coca-Cola. The head of marketing, unfortunately, wasn't being able to be, couldn't be here. There are 2 bottles. Okay, one for Otara. It's customized, Coke bottle. Okay, one for Otara and one for Sanjeevani.
Thank you.
Thanks. One for Sanjeevani. I don't thank you. And, so that concludes this evening proceedings. Please put your hands together and thank Otara and Sanjeevani. And please join us for cocktails. Thank you. Have a pleasant evening.